Woo! They're very fun. Meet Bohemia, our trusty LDV convoy. Well, sometimes. We're turning this old school bus into our tiny home on wheels. And that's us, Steph and Els.
Welcome back to another episode of Olympic Series. Welcome back to another episode of our How Not to Build a Van series. This is episode lucky number 13. In this episode we fit our 12-volt lights, spotlights, and it was quite an accomplishment, although there were a few little hairy moments. And what did you get up to when I was working?
I stained the ceiling.
She stained the ceiling and now it's looking all pretty and brown, baby. Disclaimer, I'm not a qualified electrician. Everything you're about to see is from my own research online and talking to other van lifers. Please do your own research. We have our lights that have been delivered. These are just like little LED 12-watt ones. 12 watt? That's a lie.
12 volt.
12 volt, 1.5 watt. And what I'm doing at the moment, they don't come with like to tell you what's positive or negative. So we've asked around a few people and they said that it doesn't matter. So I'm basically just putting on the ends for the positive and the negative and then just testing on our battery that they work. So here's what I prepared earlier. I'm going to put the negative here and the positive here and try and touch. Hey, we have light. So I've briefly sketched where I want our lights to go and then where I'm going to be running the wires. I think they might be wonky. I'm not entirely sure, but that is only because our skylight is not directly in the middle, as you may be able to see. So now that I've marked out roughly where that's going to go, I mean that might not be gospel when we get the cladding up, but it's the best that I can do in terms of wiring it. So I'm going to start to run this wire across, and I will try my best to show you what I'm doing and why. This is just I believe it's like a 1.5 mil. Comes in like an insulated sleeve, and then at the end you just use wire strippers just to expose your positive and your negative. Really sound confident in what I'm talking about, but I'm not. So I'm just using cable ties at the moment just to run these along and hold it in place. And I don't know if it's probably the best thing to do, but I'm going to use tape just to obviously tape it along for now. So the reason why I've come across and then done a loop, if you're new to electrics, this is a trick that I learned from YouTube. So when it does come to putting the cladding up, we will create holes in the cladding so that can go through there. And then when it comes to actually wiring the lights, cut that there. That will then expose two sets of these. And when it comes to actually wiring, that's obviously when I'll show you what to do. Well, or not what to do. Right, it's from the top. Make it drop. There's no. My granddad and nan watches this. Let's not sing that song. So we've got our lights. I'm gonna try and explain this all again because I feel like the first time we were like, it was our first light. Now we've got it in. Ding ding. So when we ran the we tried to balance on one leg then. When we ran the wires, we did like a little loop. So what I'm gonna do, cut that. That's then going to expose. I'm going to use wire strippers. Best wire strippers we've ever. Okay.
High class strippers.
Wire class. What? High class strippers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but. What is actually working? Okay. So using the wire strippers to strip off that double insulation, that's then going to give you your positive and your negative on both wires. So we're now using butt splice connectors.
Lovely.
Weird. and they are so tiny and fiddly. So originally I was going to be doing electrics on my own, and now I've got Steph involved because I don't like little fiddly things. I haven't got the patience. I never had the patience for Lego, so I'm going to hand over to Steph now.
Come here, come here. I'm not explaining what to do.
Okay, so what we're going to do is, with these, now I'm not sure if you're going to see because it might blur, there's 2 little holes here and 2 little holes here. So we're going to put positive, wire for the light, one of the wire for the lights, and then positive, and then negative. We can basically do the same.
Try them.
Now we're going to test this one. We've tested that one already, so we do a little double test.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think that'll work. No.
Nothing?
No.
Oh, on it.
Why is it not working now?
I don't know. New predicament. Great. Ready to test the second light?
Yes.
Please work.
Lord, give me light.
Yay! Woo! They're very fun.
Yeah! Ah! No, you can't do that because I'm too tall.
Can't lift you up.
No, because I'm already touching the ceiling.
Oh, I'm so happy. Okay, let's do the rest of them now. 4 more.
4 more what?
To briefly update you on what we just did with those 2 lights, one of them was with the butt splice connectors.
Butt splice.
And the other light was actually with these connectors, which were just from Amazon, of course. So I suppose I'll also show you how to use these ones. The beauty of watching videos of ours, even though we advertise ourselves as how not to build a camper van, you get to see us troubleshoot, because we have learned how to do all of this on YouTube, and the videos that we do watch, people get it right first time, or they obviously edit the videos to show you what they've done. But let's show you how to troubleshoot when it all goes peaked on.
Hey! Oh, hold on. Check that all the rest work. Oh. Now that one's not working. That one is. Those 2 aren't.
It's because that circuit's broke.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
1, 2,
3, 4, 5, and 6. We did it.
You did. Well done, babe.
Well done.
If you watched our last episode when we fitted the cladding, then you will know that we were umming and ahhing as to whether to paint it or stain it. Now, Steph FaceTimed me to make the ultimate decision.
Okay, so it is just me in the van now, as Els has gone back to work after being on furlough, but I'm still furloughed to the end of January. So there's a lot of things that need to be done, obviously still, but we're still waiting on A, funds, and B, then to buy the supplies that we need, like wood. We've got everything we need to build the bed with, but we need to tint our windows first and then decide what we're doing with our walls. I think we're going to paint them white. So for the time being, I have gone to our little handy shop and bought some stain, because originally we were going to paint the ceiling white, but we've decided that we want a bit of a difference. We didn't want it to all be white, we didn't want it to look too clinical. So we're painting the walls white and staining the ceiling quite a dark colour. They didn't have exactly the colour that we wanted. They either had a really dark one like this, or one that was really like yellowy reddy, and that's not what we wanted. So I'm about to try this. It might only take 1 coat, I don't know, but let's see. First things first, I need to sand this back, only very lightly because it's new wood. Then I have to use some white spirit just to clean it all, and then I can varnish. So let's get to it. Before cracking on with actually just painting the whole thing, which is a bad habit of mine, just being impatient and just wanting to do it without actually testing it out first of all. I've just done one layer of the varnish on this piece of wood. So, to give you an example, that was the colour before, and that's the one layer of the varnish. I'm not sure if I think it's a bit dark. Right, so I've called Els and she was happy with the colour. So I'm going to crack on and do the ceiling. Let's do this.
So it's been a stressful morning because, what time is it? Stressful day because I basically, obviously linked the lights, make sure they all worked, happy days. Then I thought, okay, I'm going to link them now to the switch panel so that I can control them with the switch as well as touching on and off. But then for some reason when I did that, this light back here just stopped working completely. So we spoke to our friends Laura and Jake all the way in Sweden, and they basically just troubleshooted with us and we've managed to fix it. So we changed the connectors because I think that was one of the problems. Okay, there's a lot of loud noise in the background. Not sure if you're going to be able to hear me. I said that I was going to show you guys how I did the other lights with these little connectors. This one fell off, so I'm going to redo it. Fell off because it was just hanging out. So what I'm going to do, I've got a couple of pieces of heat shrink. So I've got my 2 negative wires and my 2 positives. So I'm just going to run some heat shrink there. Then I've got these 2 little blade terminals. I'm going to twist the 2 negative wires together and pop that onto that. I've not got a lot of wires, so I've made it very difficult for myself. So that's pumped on. I'm going to put the heat shrink over it and then I'll deal with that in a sec. I'm going to do the same again with our 2 positives. Twist them together, put the blade terminal in the end. Then you can either use like a hairdryer or a lighter. I hope this stain isn't flammable. Then I've got my light, okay? So I've got 2 of these. I have no idea if you saw that. Now to see if it actually works.
Your hair's so much as like in my face.
Bits. Thank you for watching episode 13, guys.
And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and a subscribe. That's really hard to say with braces in.
And if we haven't mentioned it a million times already, we actually launched our clothing brand Bohemia. So it's not just exclusive to van life. We've got Wanderers, we've got Bohemian wear with moons and stars, we've got LGBTQIA+ and empowerment. So go check it out.
Oh, I blinked. I blinked with the wrong eye.
You blinked with the wrong eye. Get lost, mate. Next time on How Not to Build a Camper Van. We start fitting our walls, make a second attempt at tinting our windows, and I learnt how to fit a plug.